Hello friends, welcome to Senior Coding Web Development Platform. In today's session, we are going to create a click counter. It means that it records a number of click and it displays on the screen. So the counter make use of just JavaScript click even to increase the value on the counter. So we can use this in various area. Maybe the best example is including in games, where in games where it increase the points or scores the value in some time in saving this hacks. So I'm just using this example where I have used the very simple thing that title as click counter. Now I'm just clicking. We can able to see the values increasing. So on this linear platform, I'm not going to use a JavaScript where I'm going to separate this JavaScript in the HTML tag. So let me see how we can execute on the linear platform. So on the HTML part, I'm going to make maybe on the header part, we can use this option, that is meta char set, which is UTF my 8. So maybe if required, you can add title. So I am going to add this title, and next on the link HR, that is on the reference, I'm going to use this on the font from the Google Leap, where I'm going to use a style sheet from the Google basis. So let be the relative between style sheet, and the text could be its text or CSS. Okay, so I have done this. Next on the body part, since we need to create the division class, which is of main. So under this, I'm going to use a heading part, which is click counter. So after this, I need to use a button where on the button ID I have to create as click me. And initially I need to set my click me as 0. So maybe I'm going to use, let I delete this part. So under the heading part, if required you can add this. I'm going to use one more thing, that is good practice, that is no JavaScript code used in HTML. I'm not going to use in this. I'm going to separate this on another file, so you can able to see it start from 0. Maybe you can just give a space so that it will look quite easy. Yes. So next I'm going to create the JavaScript file, that is app. So which is script source is app.js. So now I'm going to write the functions on the scripting basis. On the scripting basis, you have to keep in remember by clicking this button, the number should be increased. So for this, I'm going to use the vary. Since a button should be vary with a value, I'm going to declare as vary button, and it should get the value from the backend process or from the user. I'm going to make it as document get element by id, and I have to mention as click me. Next, I have to make their initialization count will be initially start from 0. After this, I'm setting the function as button on click. It should start the function where their value count plus 1 count plus equivalent to 1. It should add the value. So next it should process on the inner HTML. For this I'm making as button inner HTML, where it should make it as click me, and it should display the value plus the count should be processed. So it's very simple JavaScript basis. We have declared the button should be increased. For this we have declared the value initially to be 0, and next I have made a button on click. Once the on click is done, it should increase the value of 1 and should get the value on the inner HTML. Okay, so next I am moving for my style part. So under the style part, so I am going to make their body, which is margin as 0 and padding as 0, and I'm making their font family as Lato, and this is sans serif. Next I'm making their font size so where on the font family I'm making as Lato, and I'm making as sans serif. Next I'm making their font size, which is 20 point, and I'm making their font weight, which is normal, and I'm making their background. We can set the background to be light blue. It is option, you can skip this. we should have to make that browser do not support gradients. Okay, you can able to see on the right hand side where it shows as light blue. So next I'm going to make their background, that is WebKit linear gradient, which is -90 degree. And I'm making as light blue, again black. So I need to remove this. Now it is right. So next we need to start from the value. For that I'm going to process where I'm going to make the background. Background could be WebKit linear gradient, and again I'm setting the value as -90 degree, comma light blue and black. So next for the Firefox, even for the same thing I'm going to repeat. That is background, WebKit linear gradient, and is also 90 degree light blue and black. So this could be the standard syntax. So next I'm going to making their part of main. So under the main I'm setting the margin to be 100 pixel and I'm making as auto. Next I'm making the text alignment as center. So again I'm going to create for the button. Under the button I'm making their padding could be 20 pixel and I'm making their background could be transparent and making the text shadow to be 1 pixel, 1 pixel, again 1 pixel, and changing the color to be this one. Again I'm making the font family, that is Lato, Lato, sans serif, and I'm making the font size could be 18 point, and I'm making the border to be 1 pixel solid light blue. So next again I'm making the color to be so the overall part is over. We have completed the CSS and we have done the style and we have done the application. Let me see the output. So I have added the URL over here and I have done some corrections on this. Let me check. I'm just clicking. It is processing. So this is a simple example for a click counter, and I hope this session gives a clear picture. We can see on the next video. Until then, thank you.